guys, I thought that I would update you as to what has been happening in August, which is what just passed, the month that just happened, in case you don't know your months. I haven't made a video in a while. The last video that I made was a collaboration video with my friend Laura, and you can check that out. It was actually really fun, but I feel like I'm kind of getting out of the swing of it. I'll try and get back into the swing of it, and I will also try and stop playing with my necklace. Sorry, but it's a time turner. So, you know, if the video sucks bad enough, I can just go back in time and do it again. So in August, I read some books because I love reading books. You know, I actually had a moment in August where I was lying in bed reading before going to sleep. I was also sick at the time, so maybe that's why my brain was a bit messed up, but I'm lying there reading and I suddenly thought to myself, why am I reading? Who reads books? Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I reading all these words? What is the point of this? Why do I waste time reading books? And I kind of just spiraled into this existential crisis of reading books. I was convinced in that moment that reading books was a waste of time. And then I realized that I actually really love reading books. That's why I do it. So I've had an interesting month. Anyway, I'm gonna get into the books that I have been reading. I have recently started rereading the Morganville Vampires series because I never finished the series, and I own a lot of them that I haven't read yet, and I want to eventually read them because I want to kind of go through all the books on my bookshelf that I haven't read and read them. Also, if you can see the sticky notes that I've got on the bookshelf behind me, those are books that I haven't read. I put sticky notes on them so that I would see it every day and be shamed into reading them. I read the first book in the Morganville Vampire series, Glass Houses, before August, but this month I have read books 2 and 3, so The Dead Girls Dance and Midnight Alley. A dead girl does not actually dance in this book. I read these books basically because they're a light, easy read. I don't have to think too much about it. I wouldn't say it's a brilliant series. If you're looking for a series to get started into, I might not recommend them. I think it's actually really interesting that I don't love these books. I like them and I just read them because whatever. When the author, Rachel Kane, wrote Ink and Bone and Paper and Fire, which I absolutely love. Like, those books are amazing, but there are no vampires in them so far. But oh my goodness, I love those books. They're so good. Like, really, like, I would absolutely 100% recommend them to you. So read those, not these, if you want to get started to reading Rachel Kane. That's my recommendation. The other book that I read this month, last month, August month, Reckless 3, or The Golden Yarn by Cornelia Funke, or as I have now learnt to pronounce it, Cornelia Funke. This is the third in the series. The first two are Reckless and Fearless, and I really love this one. It took me a bit to get into it again because I did not reread the first two again before reading this one. I just kind of went, yeah, I think I know what happened, and I just plunged straight in. But I really did enjoy it. I loved it so much, and apparently there is another book being written, so I'm really excited for that. Basically, the story is set in our world, but there's a mirror that goes to the mirror world, and thus you have a plot. The point of this video is not to tell you what the books are about, they're just to tell you what I've been reading. If you want to know what the books are about, then go to the description and click on the links, which will take you to the Goodreads page, which will have the blurb, and then you can read about the book. Thank you very much. The next book I'm going to tell you that I read was actually a book that I put off reading for a really long time, and I am so glad that I finally read it. 4 in the Divergent series. Why did I not read this earlier? I don't know, but I've read it now, and honestly, I loved it so much. It was such a good read, and it has inspired me to reread all of the Divergent series. So yes, I read Divergent next, and I am currently reading Insurgent. I'm really keen to reread the whole series because I've forgotten a lot about what happens, and I did really love it the first time I read it, so I'm reading it again. Because that's what I do. I have noticed this year in particular has been a lot of rereading instead of reading new books. I started off by rereading the Alex Rider series, and I read the whole thing, and honestly really tempted to do it all over again, but maybe next year. And yeah, I'm rereading the Morganville Vampires, I'm rereading Divergent, There are just all these books that I feel like I need to reread because I love them and I want to experience it again. So yeah, I feel like this year I'm just going to be rereading with occasional books here and there that I haven't read before thrown in. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll also know that I've recently watched the entire Death Note anime all over again because Netflix brought out a Death Note movie and I watched that and laughed pretty much the whole way through because it was so bad. And so I had to watch the anime again to refresh myself on what Death Note actually is and why it's so good. And then I ended up watching some other adaptations. The next books that I'm planning to be reading, I'm going to finish the Divergent series. I'm going to read Insurgent and Allegiant. And then I'm hoping to get a copy of Quill and something. The third book by Rachel Kane. Ink and Bone, Paper and Fire, Quill and something or something and Quill. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm actually hoping to get that for my birthday this month, September. And so I will read that, I hope. I've been thinking about whether I should read The Fever Code in the Maze Runner series. Let me know if you think I should read that, or if you think I should read Where. Where is it? I don't know. It's on my shelf somewhere. And if you have a particular book in mind that you think is absolutely amazing because you've just discovered it, or you've had it all along and you don't think I've read it, then let me know what it is. Tell me if you think there's a book that I should read ASAP. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below, as I said, with a book that you want me to read. If you're not currently subscribed to my channel, I would recommend hitting the subscribe button because your life will just be so much richer. You can also follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Goodreads and Instagram under the username of Hufflepufism, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao for now, monkeys!